Good morning, everyone. So it is 5:30 a.m. here in Maine this morning, and today, I already looked at the calendar, today is the 8th. Today is July 8th, 2025. That's what we call it anyway. And I hope that you're all having a good morning. I hope that everyone's doing well. I hope you all had a great day yesterday. Yesterday it was so sticky here. It was so humid. And it looks like it's going to be just another really, really humid day today. So, but you know, it's not snowing and it's not icing and it's not below zero. So I'll take it. But it's just hard trying to keep all the animals cool and comfortable. And of course, the air quality just really sucks when it's thick like that. It's just hard to breathe. It's hard on everyone, the people, the animals, the elderly, anybody that's got asthma or any type of breathing problems. It just makes it really difficult for them to breathe. But like I said, it's not snowing and it's not icing, and it's not below zero, so I'll take it. So anyways, let's see. Yesterday we read on Epstein, and in the morning we did a reading on the Big Beautiful Bill and the Fed, and I can't remember what else was in that. Oh, Texas and the energy of the week. So that's what we looked at yesterday. And I just got done looking at the comments on both those videos this morning. And somebody wants me to look at Morgellons. And so I said I would do that. Somebody, the last time I wasn't on last week, but I was on the week before, earlier in the week. And somebody wanted me to take a look at how people were going to react to finding out that, you know, sports have been rigged and some of their favorite sports people have been shitbags. But you know what? I think it's not going to be much different than, finding out that their favorite politician or their favorite actor or actress were ungreat people, really. The fact is, there's been enough stuff in sports, especially football, where people have known that these key players are shitbags. I mean, there's been the domestic violence, and then of course that asshole that was raising dogs for dog fights, and that cruel bastard. I won't get started on it. But this has been news that these people aren't, upstanding citizens for a long time. And, there's always been stories about the people in sports. And I don't understand, I've always understood that sports have got to be rigged. And the reason why that made sense to me, even as a very young person, is because if you've got mob guys betting on teams, you can bet your ass that they don't want to lose, right? So someone's pulling strings somewhere is how I always saw it. But we'll take a look at how people will react to some of these things, and we'll look at the Morgellons. But first off, I want to just say one of the people on the channels seems to be very depressed, scared and depressed. And so Judith, I'm sending you some extra love and joy and happiness. I would say if you're listening to people that strike fear into your heart, it might be better for you to not listen. Our quality of life is dependent on us. The only thing that we have control over is our own quality of life. It's true that the control for that is within us. So what we expose ourselves to, what we take in, all of those things are important for the quality of our own life. And if people are striking fear into your heart, I would probably back the hell up off from listening to those people. And I'll tell you why. It's not as if I haven't been black-pilled at a point in my life, because I really was. But this is the thing. I decided way back when Obama was president, because I think I've told you guys all that I really didn't see us getting out of that mess. At that point, I was like, oh, God. We're really in it. But this is what I did. I backed up and I said, you know what? I just don't agree to this shit. I don't agree to it. I'm going to go on to not live in fear and not be worrying about it every other second. And I am going to project and create the best life that I can for myself and my family and my animals, and create my own world and project the world that I want to live in and that I'm choosing. And I went about the business of just going on and being a happy camper. But I'll tell you, you know, the proof has been there for me that we've got this for a long time. And even if I wasn't listening to my highest self and my team and my creator, even if I didn't have that, I have eyes to see and ears to hear. And the bad people of the world would not take the time to wake people up to these terrible scenarios and to plans that had been, and then, you know, implement them anyway. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't wake up a nation. They wouldn't wake up a world. So they would go about the business of implementing their plan as planned with a bunch of sleepy people. I mean, they wouldn't take the time to wake people up. So that in itself really should let people know that we're moving into better days. And that should go a long way. Now, somebody else was saying that they understand what I'm getting for Trump because they think I'm asking the question wrong. I have read on Trump every which way but loose on the channel. I've worded it a million different ways. But I understand what you're saying. You have been told, somebody has convinced you that there are two Trumps, one that we see that is a decent version and one that is a nefarious version pulling off the deep state plans. So, I don't know where you've heard that. I do know that we all need to be very discerning. Again, be very discerning with what you're taking in. Trump has more than one bodyguard. That's necessary. Not bodyguard, but body double. That's necessary. Most people like that do have more than one. And yeah, he's got several, and they're very easy to spot. One is thin, one is heavy, one, you know, one's more slouchy, one's more well-spoken. I mean, they're pretty easy to spot. But what we're going to do today, because you believe that there is a Trump, I don't know where you've heard that there's this Trump bombing the world. I don't know where you've heard that, who said that, but again, you know, I would, rather than taking people's word on things, I would actually like look into this stuff, because I've seen nothing or heard anything of Trump bombing the world. Yeah, there was the show of the Iranian bombing, which was several weeks back. I believe, personally, we are in a military mission And the military is in control of these things. And we're taking out dumbs. We're taking out dumbs. And, you know, the information that you're receiving via the news is not correct, obviously. It's a narrative, but there really is a war happening between the Kabbalists and the White Hats. So, but your narrative is not going to be accurate because we're in the middle of a war. So, they're not going to tell you the truth about things, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to look at, I got to word this correctly, so give me a second. So what I want to know today, please and thank you. Oh, obviously, you guys, the healing intentions are always set for you folks. So if you want them and you so choose, decree that for your highest and greatest good, only and always, and then go ahead and breathe that in. And also, don't follow any links or emails in the comments section of any of my channels from anyone soliciting you for anything, because those would be scammers. And somebody had said in the comments that they would like to have a personal reading. My information, if you want to get a hold of me, my information is in the description. It's also in the description of the channel itself, so you can read about the channel and but then it's always in the description underneath the video. So all you have to do is go underneath the video and hit more, and it will give you the description. You can find my email in there, and you can just send me an email, and then we can work something out for you. So anyways, yeah, with that being said, we're going to take a look. So one of the viewers on the channel believes that there is a version of the person that we see as President Donald John Trump on the world stage. She believes there is a nefarious version of Donald John Trump that is working for the deep state, the cabal, the black hats, whatever you want to call them, those people that do not have humanity's highest and greatest good for intentions. So she believes there is a version of Donald John Trump out there that is implementing the work and the deeds of the people that are against we ordinary folk. So I'm just going to ask, in this timeline, as the energy stands, on the timeline that I am on, that I am reading for right now, in this dimension that I am doing this reading on right now, are every version of Donald John Trump that we see on the world stage, because we know there are body doubles and different versions of him for safety reasons. Are all of the Donald John Trumps that we see on the world stage, the body doubles and the actual Donald John Trump, who we consider the President of the United States, are all of the versions of him working on humanity's behalf for their highest and greatest good, only and always. Please and thank you. So let's they can answer that with one card, you guys. So, please and thank you. They want to talk about this, the hard work that's gone in. Let's look at what we're getting, and the focus that we have to bring judgment and wake up the people. Working over a long period of time with integrity. All right, so they want to talk about this. Now, I've done a lot of readings around Donald John Trump, and what I've gotten is that this is kind of his soul path. It's his soul path. Let me just tip this that way. It's his soul's desire and path to come here and make great change. And the intentions behind that are good. And he has come in to be a very controversial figure that would create emotion to kind of get people seeing, feeling, viewing things differently, right? So, all of the versions. They're telling us there's probably about 7 of them, honestly. So, they're telling us there's about 7 different Donald John Trumps that have been working very hard for a long time to tame the beast. Okay. So you would have to consider any body double, you would have to consider that hard work, because that's dangerous work, right? They've got to get out there, they've got to sound like him, act like him, put on a good show, and know that they're in danger. They're putting their lives in danger just by doing that. But seriously, there could be up to 7 Donald John Trumps. And then 1 on the back burner. Like another person that they could bring in should they need to. So that's really interesting. And with that 7, they say seek. Seek, because if you start studying him very well, you'll be able to pick them out. I can pick out like 3 easy. I don't always watch him. I don't always watch a lot of anything because I'm busy. But I can pick out like 3 very easily. They're saying there's like 7, 6 that we see a lot, and 1 that comes in sometimes. So that's interesting. So there are 7 of him, or, around 7 of him, that have been working here on the world stage for a very long time. This is my workhorse, right? So doing hard work for a long time. To tame that beast with strength here. So to ground heaven into earth and tame the beast. So that's the pathway. So the focus is to wake the people up. Okay? The focus is integrity, but it's also sharing information that's a bit skewed, okay? So it's integrity, but it's sharing information that's a bit skewed. Now, that makes sense that we get this in this information war that he's working on. They're all participating in. Because if you listen to what he's saying, he's speaking to several different audiences. And a lot of what he's speaking to are the anons. And they're picking up the QCOMs. So the bit of skewering that he does with his facts, his numbers, his words, it's done very deliberately in this information war for people to pick up on. But he's highly focused on integrity, and he's highly focused on waking people up, and he's highly focused on hard work. And he's also highly focused on the other people that are playing him, right? And the mission is really, with these two higher arcana cards, to wake people up and to tame the beast with integrity. And so integrity is going into the wordplay that he does, and integrity is going into the taming of the beast that he does, and he's really focused on these things. So they always want to answer a question about him with a story, and I think it's because there's so much bullshit that's out there around him, and that is done, really honestly, by the deep state. If they can keep people in fear and they can keep your vibration low, that's their purpose. They eat your loosh, right? They love the negative energy. You're easier to control if you're in fear, doubt, discomfort, pain, grief, agony. They love those low vibrations. So they'll put whatever they can out there to keep people vibing low. So there are far more than just 3. There's 6 that's being used regularly and 1 on the back burner. 6 different versions of him. But all of them have been working hard to tame the beast. So yeah, they all get out there, they imitate him because it's a safety thing. And they're working hard because they're putting their lives at risk when they do that. And the mission itself is to ground heaven into earth and tame that beast. That beast, the beast system that has enslaved everybody, right? And to wake people up. Working hard to wake people up. Working hard on this information war. Working hard to tame the beast. Right? Working hard to get people to focus. Working hard to make sure that there is integrity in what they're doing. So that's what I'm getting. So I'm going to clarify. So did I just read this correctly? Did I just deliver the message correctly? Please and thank you. They're all out there planting seeds to wake people up. I mean, so did I just deliver this message correctly to everybody and myself? Please and thanks. With 1 card, yes or no, did I deliver the message? Yes, I delivered the message correctly. So all the versions of Donald John Trump that you see out there on the world stage have been working hard over a long period of time to ground heaven into earth and tame the beast. They've been working hard to get people to focus. They've been working hard to wake people up. They've been working hard to make sure they're bringing integrity. They've been working hard to bring the calms and the wordplay. And they've been working hard to tame the beast, and they've been working hard to plant the seeds that will wake people up, that will get people focused. And I delivered that to you correctly. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting at least. And I consistently get this. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So take from it what resonates and, toss the rest. But this is what I'm getting, you guys. So now let's just take a look at, with the 7-card spread, please and thank you. I want the story around why there's always this information that Trump's a bad guy, he's a black hat, he's screwing the people over, he's doing this, he's doing that. I want a story around that. Please and thank you. So with the 7-card spread, if you could just give me the pathway to all of the rumors and the negative narratives that are out there, and then give me the story around it, that would be great. Please and thank you. All right, let's cut them and lay them. Let me put them up just a smidge. Move the camera just a smidge. All right, let me get a drink of my coffee. All right, so let's start with the pathway, you guys. So the pathway leading to, why is there always something negative being said, right? Why is that narrative out there? Okay, so the energy that has built, that created this pathway, is our children. Okay, so the children drive all of this. The children do, because that's my Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups really is always all about the kids and the emotions of the children, because, you know, with the Page of Swords, that can be the awakening the young warrior in you. That can be the waking up that dormant DNA. That can be fresh technologies and lots of things, right? And then with the Page of Pentacles, you know, that can be how money is made off of young people. And of course, you know, with the Page of Cups, this is all about emotions. Children are very emotional little beings. This is, for me, the way I read, because I read intuitively, not traditionally. What this card means to me is everything about it is the child. The emotions, everything. So this is the page. The children are what's driving this entire reading, okay? And then above the children, that's creating this pathway to why people are saying negative things around Donald Trump, why that narrative is out there. We're going to just look at this pathway first. The children drive it, and Temperance is right above the children. And what Temperance does, she's Major Arcana card for one, so this is big picture. What Temperance does is, over a period of time, she transforms things. So it's over a period of time, she's creating transformation. Well, let me just pull it up so that you guys can see it. I don't want it to blur. It's a little blurry. Pull it back a little bit. See if I can get it to focus. See, it's kind of a dreary looking day today, so the lighting is just a bit off. It's not gonna focus, but maybe you guys can see it better if it's just down here away from the camera. But around Temperance's head, there's this burst of light, right? And Temperance is a heavenly being, right? And she's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot in the world. And so she's alchemizing something. So what is she alchemizing? What is she transforming? She's making change. over a long period of time. So, overseen by heaven, creating change over a long period of time to bring great healing and birth new things. And it's the children that drive this, okay? So it's the children that are driving the great change to bring healing and joy. Because why? Because the children have been being misused for a long time. Because everything starts when we're babies. Even the children that aren't being trafficked, they're getting the jabs. They're being poisoned, right? So it all starts with the children to make this change and bring healing in. Now you just think about this strong of a pathway. When the children have been people's source of many different nasty ass pleasures, and there is this force that's happening within the world, divinely guided by the heavens, to transform something that was into something that's healed and beautiful. In other words, saving the children. Imagine if you use these kids for nefarious things, and you see that all of this stuff that's happening is taking away your ability to keep doing in the dark what you've been doing, and that it's being brought into the light so that things can change and be healed. You'd be desperate to put out any narrative, probably, that you possibly could, right? So that's just the pathway, you guys. So the children drive it, and then you've got two major arcana cards. So big, big picture. Bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than this planet. Like this is the heavens. This is God. Okay? Now let's look at the story around these lies that are being told. Okay? So you have the Knight of Cups, and this is the ability to cross any bridge, river, and stream. And this is the bravery to do it. Okay? So you have somebody who is incredibly brave out there working to create this change, working in conjunction with the energies in heaven and soldiers to create this change, right? To cross these bridges, rivers, streams, to create the transformation with the white hats, right? With the goal of birthing new things and healing things and transforming things and saving these kids. That's the goal. And then above that you have lies. You have lies trying to overshadow truths, to break hearts and keep people in worry rather than in joy. And you get the 2 3s side by side, rather than in joy, because what do they count on? What do people that would want to use these children count on? They count on us manifesting things via our own feelings, right? With our feelings, our words, our thoughts, our vibrations. Because don't forget that these people know universal law, and they know how things work, and they've kept that information from the masses for a long time so that they can hold power over people in ways that they wouldn't be able to if people stepped into themselves, right? So we have the children that are driving that are driving the pathway. We have great change happening over a long period of time that's been being worked on to birth new things, to heal this earth plane, to heal these children, and to bring a more joyful vibration into the world. We have soldiers and good people that are crossing bridges, doing all forms of things. It's highly emotional with this Knight of Cups, right? it takes courage, and it really does take a degree of strength, because the rivers, bridges, things that they have to cross in order to make this transformation and work on these things are highly emotional. So in other words, they don't always feel good. You imagine going down into those domes and what they find down there. Going into areas where there are black projects going on. They're seeing things that, you know, would probably send the masses into a complete mental breakdown, and they'd never be the same afterwards, right? And then they're working with the good guys, the Emperor, right? And yeah, as they've been making strides and doing things, a lot of lies have been told about them. And this isn't just Trump that they're talking about. This is all the soldiers. And yes, Trump is part of the white hat, so he's part of the soldier. He's part of that. But there have been many lies about that. But, you know, the thing about the lying that comes out around people and around anybody, if you really start listening and looking and hearing, you're going to be able to discern, and things won't feel quite right to you, and they'll feel a bit off. So start paying attention to what happens with your body physically when you hear particular words or sentences, or, you know, pay attention to what's triggered in the belly, in the breath, in the heart. Listen to your body, listen to your soul, listen to the first thought that comes in. Learn to be discerning, more discerning, because the thing about these lies that they'll throw over the truth is that if you look or you listen really close, you're going to pick up on the fact that they're weak. Because lies are always weak, right? Because there's no basis to a lie. There's a solid foundation to the truth, but there's no basis to a lie. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we should be rejoicing that this is happening, rather than paying attention to lies and letting it get to our hearts. Okay? So across from the soldiering and the crossing rivers, bridges, streams, highly emotional journey to do what? Save these kids. We have our Emperor, which for me is that divine masculine warrior energy. That is, for me, our alliance card. So you can call them the white hats, the alliance, whatever you want to call them. This is our alliance. These are the people that have the money, the means, the influence, the power, the military, to get out there on the world stage and be able to work for humanity's behalf and really make a difference. So this is my alliance card, and right above that we have the Queen of Cups. And so the Queen of Cups manifests what she focuses on. All right? So do you want to focus on what you don't want, or do you want to focus on what you do want? And that's the message here, just in this. And with this, they're kind of like, there's always more. And a lot of times when we ask questions like this, they really want to talk to us. If you've been with me for a while, you'll understand that my guides are teachers, right? They really are good teachers too. For me, I like the way they teach. They pull no punches. They're very direct. They will explain things very well, and sometimes they will lecture me, because that's just how the message gets across for me. So for me, they're very good teachers. They work very well for me. So you can always tell when they're setting things up like this that there is much more that they want to say. So let's let them say it. But right now it's powerful, right? Do you want to manifest the lies, or do you want to manifest the truth? Because the transformation is what's creating the narratives. So the transformation will create truthful narratives, and it will also create lies out there. So you've got people that don't want this the transformation. And the transformation is what's triggering all of the emotions, right? The healing that's coming in, the birthing something new is triggering truths and lies. It's triggering emotions. These guys are doing the work to save the kids. So let's let them keep talking here. I might have to do another, we're 40 minutes in, so I'm really not going to be able to do the Morgellons and the what was the other one, the sports, and how people will react to all of that today. But I'll do it tomorrow. But let's get this information, please and thank you. More story. Let's cut them. More story. The baddies with those lies. All right, so who's creating the lies? The bad guys. Why are they creating the lies? Because they're being exposed. So people in the shadows, these are cups, right? It's the 7. As you know, I've already said it, I'm an intuitive reader, so these cards mean different things to me than they do probably to the people that are reading traditionally. But who's creating the lies and the heartbreak? Well, the bad people don't want the transformation. They don't want the bridges to get crossed. They don't want these people out there finding these kids. They don't want that. So they don't want to be exposed. So what do? They create narratives. They don't want the healing. They don't want the healing for the world over. They're out there putting out a lot of chaotic lies and things to keep people confused. They don't want to be exposed with this King of Cups. They don't want their secrets to rise up. Okay? They don't want their secrets rising up. They don't want the truth being told about them via the world. Right? So the world over, though, the white hats want to bring healing the world over. So the whole world over, the white hats want to bring this healing. Okay? The whole world over, the white hats they want you focused. They want you focused on what you want. You're part of this mission. We're all part of this mission. And they want people focused emotionally on things that they want, that higher vibration, right? Right? The white hats are bringing you truth. They're bringing you truth. The bad guys don't want you to have it. They're bringing you lies. And so you have to learn to be discerning. This is a war. And it is an information war. And it's being done differently than what most people... We're part of the war. We're part of it. So the world over, we want to stay in a good place emotionally and vibrationally so that we can manifest what it is that we're choosing. And play our parts here in this war, in this narrative that is going on to create this great change and transformation for our children. Okay, so did I read this to you guys correctly? We'll get the confirmation. We'll just get confirmation. Did I read this correctly, please? And thank you. Did I bring the message forward the way that you would desire me to? I did. I did bring the message to you the way they would desire me to bring it. So that's why there's the lies out there. The bad guys are trying to counteract and get people to feel a particular way against what the white hats are actually doing. I mean, it's part of the war, you guys. We've all known some jerk that is just not nice and just a jerk, right? We've all known these people that lie just for the sake of lying, so that people don't see them for what they are. If they can keep people busy looking at everyone else and pointing their finger at everybody else so that people look away from them and are judging other people out there, then people might not notice the true nature or the character of the jerk that's creating the rumors, right? And that's basically what's going on here. So the secondary message with this high priestess is telling you that, you know, we're in a battle between the dark and the light. And it's up to us to hold the balance. And if we're going to be holding balance while we have decent people, good people, crossing bridges, rivers, and streams that would send people like us into a mental institution for the rest of our lives, and they're doing the hard work, then it's up to us to hold the vibrational balance and be very discerning with what we take in and what we buy and what we believe and what we put out there and all of that stuff, right? So that's what I'm getting, at least, you guys. So take from it what you will, whatever resonates, and, you know, toss the rest. But that's the reason why the narratives are out there saying that Donald John Trump is bad, because the bad guys want you to think he is. Because, you know, the bad guys don't want you liking their enemy. And the more resistance the people have towards their enemy, who are the good guys, and Donald John Trump is the face of this mission, the more people that don't like him and don't trust him, the better it goes for them, right? So, you know, just be discerning. Take from this what you will, toss the rest. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. So I've been on here already 47 minutes. So I'm going to get off here, but I will look into the Morgellons. I don't know, really, you know, this is a good opportunity for you to tell me what it is that you would like me to ask about that. I'm thinking that you're just looking for healing information, but maybe you have other questions. So if you want to put the questions in the comments, and, you know, I'll take a look at them sometime between now and tomorrow morning, and then I'll know what it is exactly that you want me to look at. But for now, I'm going to get off because I'm already 40-something minutes in, close to an hour. And I started at like 5:30, and it's nearly 6:30 now. So with the information that we've been given and the way the energy stands as of today, right now, is there a message, anything you want to leave us with? One card for insight, clarity, advice, or just, you know, maybe if you want to have one last little conversation, we'll see by the card that we pull. But anyways, that's what we're looking for right now. Please and thank you. I feel like there's a story. I feel like there's a little bit more than a story. So I'll just start here. I'm going to slide them over a little bit because I'm going to do another row over here because I think it will be easier to view it that way. There we go. So that's how it would be set up if it were to all run down the table, you guys. So yeah, when you're reading, you have to, it's just like what I was saying, pay attention to your body when you're hearing people's words and whatnot. Pay attention to your triggers. What's going on with the body, what comes in via the crown, all of these things. You want to start paying more and more attention to these are your cues, your intuitive triggers, right? So I said, or do you want to tell more of a story? I pulled the Hierophant. And that could just be, have no fear, you guys. We're going through a period of great change where these systems are being taken down, and they could have left us with just that. But I felt something in my heart that lets me know they actually want to talk a little bit. And these are the things that you want to start paying attention to. Not just for, if you're learning to hone your skills and in any, with like your pendulum or your cards, or just your conversations and meditations with Creator, Highest Self, and guides. But pay attention to these same exact things when you're listening to people speak, and how they're behaving in the world. It will tell you a lot, and your discernment will really grow. These things are there, they're gifts for you. They're gifts to help you maneuver through the world in a much more guided fashion. And when we're living a guided life, life is much better. So anyways, that's why I went ahead and I pulled the rest of the cards, because I could tell there's a conversation here. So we're going to start with this Hierophant. So that's the 5. That's 5. Comes chaos, comes great change. The Hierophant for me in this deck is a baddie. That's these nasty, nefarious ass munches who have been ruling the world and enslaving people like you and I, the ordinary people throughout the ages. And they enslave us via their systems that they put out there to look as though they're helpful or whatever, but these nefarious systems, okay? So great change is coming to these nefarious systems. And deals have been made. Great change is coming to what? These nefarious systems. Great change is coming to the medicine. So medicine, the way we heal, the way we do things, that's part of the system. Great change within these systems are going to be coming to us, the communities, okay? So rejoice, because people have worked together, making deals to bring this change to the communities, because these systems, here we are with another 5, these systems on the earth plane have been making a lot of money for themselves and becoming like more and more powerful, more and more rich, while creating terrible vibrations and human suffering, okay? They've been creating human suffering for a long time. They've not only been creating the human suffering, but they're doing stuff vibrationally in the air. They've been doing things to people's vibrations. This card, to me, shows that, because you can see the vibration in the air. Again, I tell you that it's like, I read intuitively. And then they've doubled up on that if you come over here, because this card would come right here, okay? And that's my 8 of Swords. And that really is all about vibration, holding people back, lowering the vibration and whatnot. So how have they been doing this? How have they been lowering people's vibrations? Well, this would be lined up right here with these cups, right? So they've been lowering people's vibrations and cutting off your own intuition and these things that we were just talking about that can help guide you. It's all part of the vibration. They've been doing that via the water. They've been doing that through the air. And they've been doing that via medicines for a long time. These guys have been doing these things, okay? Right? Lined right up with that and the human suffering. But then we come over and we have celebrations, healing. We have children, and we have joy, and we have warmth, and we have abundance that's coming to, would be lined up with this, coming to the communities, right? And the reason why this is all happening, you guys, is because it's time. You know, it's just time with the Wheel of Fortune. So we all agreed to come here and live through different timelines and live through different experiences. And we've all agreed to do it. Our souls do it. We do it because our souls want experience. We want to know. We want to understand. We want growth. And through that, we experience, and through growth, in order to grow, you have to have experience. And we've been doing this long enough. We've been under these powerful systems long enough. We've been ingesting bad medicine and bad water long enough. We've had our vibrations lowered. We've gone through human suffering and poverty long enough. We've been blind, and we've been not listening to our guts and disconnected from our heavenly source long enough. Okay? So, like, it's time. So now we're shifting into something else. We're shifting into a different time where these bad guys get put back on the bottom, and they don't get to have all of this control and all of this reign over who? Us, the communities. And we're going to be able to start enjoying a much healthier, happier, joyful, abundant life. Why? Because it's time. Because karmically, it's just time. Because we're ending a cycle. We're ending a cycle that we've been living in for a long time. It's just time. It's that simple. It's universal, karmic time. It's that simple. And our Creator uses men to fulfill destiny. And that's what's happening right now with the white hats, with our good military, with Donald John Trump and other leaders around the world. They're all coming together to help to take down these systems that have been, you know, keeping us low. Because now it's time for the communities to start shifting into something else. We're going into a new time because it's time. Does that make sense, you guys? So I just want to see if I've said everything they want me to say here via this. I'm going to get a sip of my coffee first. Via this last message. Please and thank you. So did I deliver this? Okay, please and thank you. Did I deliver this correctly? Have I said what you wanted me to say? Have I put this out there in the way that you would have hoped that I put this out there? Please and thanks. We'll do one more shuffle and I'll get my clarification. We'll do two more shuffles because that's what it feels like. Gotta listen to your feelings. Gotta listen to what is being told to you. Have I delivered this message? Well, please and thank you. If I've only delivered some of it, you guys. Okay. All right. Only some of it. They've got more to say. So, you guys remember all of this because I'm going to pick those up. if they want to keep talking, because it's important with this 5, because they're saying with this 5 that some of you are very sad. So whoever's watching this that is very, very sad, they're talking extra for you right now. So I want to pick up, there's a lot of higher arcana cards in here. I want, well, not a lot, but there's 3. And I want them to be able to use them if they want to. So I'm going to pick all of this up. And it looks like with this 5, I've delivered you. Yes, those two things I delivered to you. But there's more that they want to say out there. Probably about some about the lies, and also about people being downtrodden. So I'm just going to let them talk, you guys. I'm going to let them talk. Okay? So I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to do the downward, we'll continue to do this downward conversation. And I'll let you keep talking. And also they're telling us, you know, there is great change coming here. So let's just see what else they want to say. All right, I'll do one more shuffle, you guys. And look at the rest of the conversation here. Cut them 3 times. And we'll start moving humanity out of troubled water. Focusing on the financial system. The white hats. Lies. I'm just going to go down. And the warriors. Okay. Let's just go down, okay? Because when we're doing these types of conversations, I don't go up, I come down. But, so we're starting out with that love vibration with the 6 of Swords. Humanity is being moved out of troubled water. And the problem is that a lot of humanity can't see that with this 6. Their vibrations are low. Swords are all about vibrations. Their spirits are also low. Their emotions, emotionally triggered, downtrodden, sad, whatever, because they're in that choppy water, and water is always about emotion, you guys. So humanity can't really see clearly. They're not seeing clearly that there are people behind them doing the hard work, doing the physical labor to kind of move them into smoother sailing, better days. And so that's part of the problem here with the disheartened people that my guides are wanting to kind of talk to right now. And it's also part of the problem with the lies that are out there. The lies keep humanity from seeing because they're downtrodden, right? So what I'm going to tell you guys is that if you're downtrodden, your vibration is low and you won't be able to see the lies. And so pull away from the things that are making you feel bad and start really focusing on the things that make you feel good so that you can lift your vibration. And once you've lifted your vibration, it makes it much easier to see truth. So work on the vibration. You know, sit and meditate, do your prayer, do your positive affirmations, get out, go barefoot on the ground, dig in the dirt, play with animals, really connect to the earth, spend time talking to your highest self, your spiritual team, and your creator, the creator of all in creation, that loves all in creation and has your highest and greatest good for intentions only and always. Really start connecting and lift that vibration. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to see truth, okay? So humanity is being moved into smoother sailing, but they can't see it. Their vibrations are low and they're emotional. And they're not picking their heads up and lifting the vibration so that they can see truth. And they're not turning around to see the actual proof of the people with the muscle that are doing the work. because they're so downtrodden, they're more susceptible to the lies and to the narratives that aren't true, rather than being able to see the truth. So we come down below that. This is all swords, you guys. This is all vibration, mindset. Look at all the swords here. Come down from that, and it's like, if you do pay attention to the truth, this will lift your vibration. It will wake you up. It will create like a new warrior, a new energy within you. And, you know, for some people, it's going to be created through the pain. And for some people, it's going to be created through the truth. And for some people, it's going to be a merge of all the things. They're going to have to go through this pain, and then they're going to kind of start to rebirth and transform and be able to see the truth. But either way, fresh, higher vibrational warriors with open crowns and good discernment is the whole point of moving humanity out of these troubled waters and out of this time of like deception and into like awakened beings. Okay, so there is a hyper focus here on the earth plane on the white hats. There is a hyper focus on that, and that hyper focus is based in both truth and lies. Okay, and that hyper focus is happening the world over based on these white hats, based in both truth and lies. And this is the world over that this is happening. And so across from that, across from the world over that this is happening, the truth is, with these bandages and this 8 of swords, the truth is we can shake out of them. The truth is all around us. So the choice for us to see and know really is ours. And it's interesting that they give us that, because that is a cue drop. The choice to know will be yours. And so with this, we can shake out of our bandages, and we can lift our vibrations, and we can see. And so right above us, there is the white hats. And so, you know, the white hats are saying, you know, you can follow these lies the world over, or you can follow these truths the world over. And the choice is up to us to shake off the bandages, to open our eyes, to unbind our third eye and our ears, to unbound our intuitive gut there, and to seek the truth, look at the truth, and lift our vibrations, so that we can start fresh as awakened beings, truly awakened beings. Because the Great Awakening isn't just about, now I know all the bad shit that happened in the world. It's not about that. A true awakening is about lifting the vibration, opening that third eye, opening the eyes, having eyes to see, having ears to hear, having that crown open so that you can get your divine information, continuing to lift your vibration, and pick up your sword and be a warrior for truth and light. That's what it's about. You know, that's what it's about. It's not just about knowing all the crappy stuff. But that's our choice. We have to do it. It's in our power to do it. When we shake off these bandages, you guys, obviously the truth and the lies are going to be easier to see the world over. We've got to do this the world over. People have been deeply impacted vibrationally and emotionally the world over. And, you know, part of the White Hat mission is to lift people's vibrations and help them get shaken out of these bandages and lift their vibration and awaken spiritually and mentally and physically the world over. That's the focus. And it is the white hats that's moving us out of this troubled water. They're working their asses off. So this is what my guides want to say. And so, have I delivered that? Have we gotten the point across? the choice to know. That's a QCOM they've given us. You know, the white hats, it's on us to do this. To shake off these bandages and be able to discern the truth from the lies. And wake up spiritually, vibrationally, emotionally, physically, all of that, the world over. So now have I delivered the message in full? Please and thank you. One more. Yes, now I've brought you the message in full. That king is a yes with integrity. So anyway, there you go. So I let them have the last little bit. That took us a little over an hour, but they really want us to lift our spirits and understand that we have a whole team of people working their asses off physically, doing the hard work for us. And they really want us, you know, to shake off the bandages, open our eyes and our ears, get back in touch with our gut feelings, do all of these things the world over so that eventually we have awoken all of our gifts. The Great Awakening is about much more than just knowing all of the darkness in the world. It's about us becoming the light. So, there you have it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the reading, and I hope that you found a little value in it. Again, this is just what I'm getting. You take from it what you will, and toss the rest. That's how we do it, right? So until next time, you guys, I love you all. Stay high vibing. Send an extra love to any of you that are feeling a little overwhelmed, disheartened, exhausted, wiped out, sad, confused. Send an extra love and joy. And, you know, I'm also sending you the energy that will prompt you to want to do the work to shake out of those bandages and lift the vibration and be able to pull yourself back up. So, yeah, anyway, stay high vibing. Keep filling yourself with love. Fill yourself up so full that it's just radiating out of you, and then see it going into the earth and filling the earth so that it's radiating out of the earth and touching everything in it and upon it. And it's so full on the earth that it's radiating out and it's touching everything here and going out into the ethers and just expanding and radiating and radiating and radiating. And once you're done seeing that, go ahead and see it filling you all up again. Yeah, and do something that you enjoy, and you know, stay focused on what it is that you're choosing in life, and keep your vibes high, and don't let the black pillars and the deep state pretending to be patriots and pretending to be the good guys. Don't let them trick you and fool you and bring you down. Now, that goes for anybody you're listening to. You know, I'm not saying that everybody that's saying something negative on social media is a bad person, but they could also be being influenced or impacted by people that are trying to bring their vibrations down, which is why it's so important for us to learn how to hold our own vibration and get in touch with our intuition and really be able to start expanding our gifts and, you know, getting our auric field larger and larger and larger, expanding. The more you work on your gifts and your vibration, the more discerning you'll be, the more you'll understand, the more you'll see clearly, and you'll be able to easily recognize that maybe your favorite podcaster has just become under the influence of somebody who's pretending to be their friend, or, you know, pretending to be someone on their team or whatever, and that they're actually seeding them, trying to bring down their vibration and get them upset and scared and worried and put a narrative out there that's not true. The more you touch your heavenly guidance and source energy, the more you expand, the more you work with your team, the more you work with your highest self, the more the easier it's going to be for you to be able to clearly see these things. So anyways, I'm done running my mouth. There's my spiel. I hope that you all have a beautiful day. I love you all very much. Stay vibing high. We've got this. Where we go one, we go all, you guys. All right. Take care. Until next time. I'll do the more gallons tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.